Jim Boeheim. Jim Boeheim.
Oh, my God.
Jim Boeheim is a senile old man and needs to get sent home. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for his last game to be in Greensboro on a Wednesday at 12 o'clock, and he loses to Wake Forest in the 8-9 game. I cannot wait. I am sick of Jim Boeheim. If Coach K tried any of this stuff, he would be getting obliterated. But you know what? Because no one actually cares about Jim Boeheim, because who cares about Jim Boeheim? He won one national title. And if you haven't heard any of this, sorry if I'm going on this rant right now if you haven't heard it, Jim Boeheim calls out Miami, Pittsburgh, and Wake Forest for buying their teams. Let me repeat those teams to you. Miami, Pittsburgh, Wake Forest. He didn't call out Duke. He didn't call out Carolina. He didn't call out Kentucky. He called out Wake Forest, Miami, and Pittsburgh. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Even if they did buy their teams, who cares for one?
How much did they spend? They didn't spend that much.
They didn't spend that much. They got him a few cookout trays and sent him packing. The thing is, Jim Boeheim bought his teams. He bought the Melo team. He bought his 03 title team. Everybody buys teams. Like, why are we doing this? We talked to Reegs about this. Like, every single team buys teams. Like, it's just what it is. And then Jim Boeheim's like going out about this. Like, it is so ridiculous. And he's going after student reporters. And he's saying all this in the press conferences. If you haven't seen it, go on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Just type in Jim Boeheim and just see what comes up, because it is ridiculous. Like, it is genuinely, it's getting old, and it's just, I mean, because like then you have like guys like when Saban and Boeheim say, "Oh, well, these guys are all just buying their recruits." So are you? Shut up.
Salty, yeah. And the thing with Boeheim, there was statements released today that were like, "Oh, I apologize. I have nothing but respect. I don't mean to insinuate." He did not say a word of that. That's the school and that's the program coming out and trying to cover his ass. He didn't say a word of that. He didn't mean a word of it. And then he was like, "Oh, he called Steve Forbes at 2:30 in the morning to apologize, all this crap." Give me a break. He meant every word of what he said. They're trying to cover for him. The program's coming out, the school's coming out like, "Oh, he didn't mean it. Like, he didn't mean to imply this." Yeah, he did. Just stand by it. If you're going to have outlandish takes, stand by him.
You have to stand by it and just be like, "Yeah, you know what? I said what I said. I'm gone in college basketball in 2 months. Like, whatever. I don't care anymore." Yeah. Two things. One, that 2:30 a.m. phone call.
Weird.
Either definitely didn't happen because Jim Boeheim is 1,000 years old, and that probably did not happen. Or secondly, that was a drunk phone call. Like, "Hey, man, Steve Forbes, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean that." Because that didn't happen either.
Let's have a good game this year.
No, dude, I'm so sick of him. I am praying. I hope the ACC gods, if there are them, or college basketball gods, put Wake Forest and Syracuse in the 8-9 game somehow at the ACC tournament. And what I'm vowing this right here on the podcast. What I will do for the people of the podcast is I will be going to the ACC tournament. Hey, traveling man. I'm a road warrior. I'm flying a red eye.
Boots on the ground.
Flying a red eye, leaving Salt Lake City Tuesday night, getting into Charlotte 5 a.m., going to be at the ACC tournament at noon. That's what I'm doing it. No sleep. I don't need sleep. Sleep's
for the people.
I'll sleep when people. Yeah, I'll sleep when I'm dead. But this is my promise to the people of the podcast. Wednesday, if whatever session Jim Boeheim is in on Wednesday, I will pay for I will make sure I get the spot right above the Syracuse Tunnel. And I get to be there while he walks out on his last game in Greensboro.
And you got to heckle him a little bit.
Oh my gosh! I cannot wait for that. I will pay whatever amount of money I have to for that seat.
You got to come up with some one-liners like, if they lose, "Hey, Boeheim, you should have paid more for your team," or I don't even know. You got to come up with some one-liners to get in his face, because you know he'll react if he hears you.
I want him to react. I want him to come up and try and smack me in the throat. I don't care. I want him to come punch me in the face. I would respect that more, but he's probably just going to whatever.
He's probably about in the press conference. If you're a student in the press conference, just ask a question. He'll come after you next. So, I mean, that's all you got to do.
Screw Jim Boeheim. All right, well,